What's up, Instagram? Today I have a full body home workout for you involving very minimalist equipment. So minimalist that you can even start today. This is going to be a great workout for those of you that have thought about starting training, maybe have heard of some of the benefits that come along with it, such as stronger muscles, greater bone density, release of those happy hormones, to name a few, but you weren't quite sure how to go about beginning. Also, for those of you that have maybe worked out before, but it's been a long time, maybe you started a new job, some sort of new obligation, or maybe you had a pretty good Valentine's Day last year and your family grew a little bit. Don't worry, you can do this workout anytime that's convenient for you from the comfort of your home. So, about the workout. So the workout's going to cover most of our bases with 4 main movements. It's going to cover a hip hinge pattern, a squat pattern, a push pattern, and a pull pattern. Now the equipment. As you can see here, I have a 5-gallon water jug. I picked this up from my local Home Depot for about 15 bucks. Pretty cost friendly and easy to do. You can pick it up on your way home from work or on the weekend doing errands. And this is really going to come in handy with that hip hinge and pull pattern. So, take it from someone that was a personal trainer during the whole lockdown period. You really need some sort of free weight to train those movements efficiently. Sure, you can do pull-ups on a door or inverted rows on a table if you're strong enough, but not the most stable exercises, and they can put a little bit of wear and tear on those things. So, and we want to ensure that all the tension is going to the muscles and not so much your home. And sure, you can purchase some bands for maybe around the same price, but the thing with bands is they kind of lack tension, that most important part of the movement, which is usually that lengthened position. So the 5-gallon water jug is gonna cross all those bases for us. And another reason I like the 5-gallon water jug is it's a nice representation of how a small investment can go a long way with our health and longevity. For example, doing this workout, which should take you about 30 to 40 minutes twice a week, maybe like a Wednesday, Saturday, as well as going a couple walks a day or maybe engaging in some sort of physical hobby activity. It's going to do a lot for us in the long term as far as preventing disease and injuries that can come with aging and whatnot. So here we are starting with our hip hinge pattern. And there's a fancy name for these, which is ipsilateral, B stance, or Romanian deadlifts. But we're just going to call them one-leg butt backs, because as you can see here, all the motion that's occurring is because of the hips. So for this exercise, we're going to take one foot, place it slightly back to where the toes are around the heel or just behind. That's going to be our kickstand for balance. Most of that weight's still on that front foot, especially the heel. We're going to brace, kind of like we're doing a plank. Then we're going to push that butt back until we feel a nice stretch in the glute, the hamstrings. Lower back is going to work a little bit, but not all lower back. And then extend using those glutes, those hamstrings. And here's a nice little drill I encourage you to use as part of your warm-up. We're going to take one step away from the wall, and then we're going to push those hips back until we feel our butt touch the wall. And that's going to kind of be our training wheels and our way of developing awareness and get a feel for that cue of hips back. And next, we'll be using a push-up for our push pattern. In the starting position, we're going to our feet about shoulder width apart. And for our hands, we're going to want to just slightly outside shoulder width, and then bracing our core, we're going to lower ourselves down and then push ourselves back up using that chest, shoulders, triceps, and try to keep that elbow somewhere around 45 degrees. We just don't want to flare too much when we put undue strain on the shoulder. If you get wrist discomfort, try to fold a towel under the palm. And since push-ups can be a tough exercise, if the normal version is a little bit too tough, you can try the kneeling version, or you can also try this version off an elevated surface. Just make sure it's a sturdy surface and you have a good footing. Next, for our squat pattern, we'll be performing a hack squat. For this exercise, we're going to take a small step away from the wall, feet somewhere around shoulder width, toes pointed out somewhere between 0 and 3 degrees, and kind of play with it a little bit to see what feels comfortable, depending on your hip anatomy. And you should be able to squat all the way down and come back up without those heels rising up and keeping even pressure through the foot. You're also going to want a towel, preferably a bigger one than I have that you can kind of tie around the front to help stay in place better, but that's going to help us glide up and down without too much friction and keep those knees in line with those toes and back against the wall. And once we've conquered our body weight, our friend is more than happy to join in and ensure our quads are getting the tension and love they need to grow. And finally, for our pull movement, we're going to be doing a 1-arm row. For this exercise, you're going to want a stable surface to place that offhand on for support. We're going to widen those feet, keeping the thighs, hips relatively parallel. We're going to drive that elbow up and back. That's really going to work our lats, our traps, rhomboids, all those muscles of the back. And try to think of your hand as a hook. Really focus on that elbow and try not to twist too much We don't want to turn it into revving a lawnmower. A little bit of a stretch with the shoulder coming forward is fine, but try not to twist. So for this workout, I recommend 2 sets of 10 to 20 reps per exercise, each workout aiming for another rep or 2 until you work your way up to that higher range, and then starting over again with a little bit more water weight. Just keep progressing that way, or doing a tougher version of the exercise. And as far as the exercises, I recommend supersetting the hip hinge with the push-up, and then supersetting the squat with the row. And one day down the line, with time and consistency, you will graduate from the water jug. Don't be afraid to invest just a little bit more in something like dumbbells. Would be a great next step. Or there's gyms with pretty affordable memberships, such as Planet Fitness, some Crunch gyms, some other gyms that might be local to you, but they can all be great next steps for you on your fitness journey. And last but not least, I really encourage you to enjoy yourself, put on some music, really lose yourself in the workout, even meditate, pray in between sets, and just let this workout be your own time and kind of take you away from the rest of the stress of the world. And my hope is one day you look at working out as, oh, I don't have to do it today, but I get to do it today. You know, you can look at it as a celebration of what your body can do. Your body is a very amazing system, capable of adapting to the demands we place on it. And it can also be a source of strength, you know, that we can discover through working out, and also discipline that we can apply to other parts of our life. So enjoy and get after it.